Welcome back to Spotify, all the things. We've got two members of the Owling. Thanks for coming by.
Hey, happy to be here. Well, the entire Owling.
Yeah, yeah, I like it. There's only two. You can't fight with a lot of people in your band with two. That's pretty good. Do you guys get along fairly well?
Yeah, I would say so.
It almost looks like Star Wars right now, like a light side, dark side, lightsaber things. Are you guys, light side and dark side? Is that a thing or no?
No, I just like the color. I just like orange and blue next to each. I just like those colors. Like
Yeah.
anytime that we do any marketing stuff, like I'll do like orange and blue, or I'll do pink and blue, and I don't know. It's just fun colors to play with.
So I saw you guys are based out of Los Angeles. I love LA, used to be there. And you've played the Rainbow, you're playing the Whiskey on the 12th. You've got a lot of singles out. Why the owl though? That's my first question I want to know. What is like owling? How did you get
Uh,
that?
yeah, that's a good question. So I I so the Owling started in December of 2022. And I actually started the band with my old bass player from another band that we played together since the early 90s. And we were talking about names, and obviously naming a band is a pretty big deal. And we ended up coming out with this like lowest common denominator in regards to like us loving owls. And so one thing led to another, and I saw this documentary about owls and crows, and how owls and crows are like mortal enemies, but there's no reason in nature why they should be enemies. They just actually have
Oh.
this like almost like how like humans, can grow up and have like a distaste for other humans, but there's no real logical reason why. It's like the same thing. Like it's not like they need each other for the food chain. It's not, they're both predators, and then one's nocturnal and the other one's not, and they just hunt each other on the opposite times. And I just thought that that story was really cool, and I just related to it, especially growing up in the South and all the experience that I had culturally. We started like talking about different words with owls, and I think what I thought of was, I was like trying to think of like an actual action, and I thought of dive owl. I don't know. That was like what I thought of. And then he threw out, how about owling? Or how about like, and then I said, how about the owling, like the howling, and then just take off the H. And that's pretty much how how we got the name.
I dig it. And I just learned something new. I didn't know that owls and crows had beef. They're both highly intelligent. So maybe they're
Yeah,
just like the smartest on the food chain. So they don't like that each other's very smart. I don't know.
that you're onto something there, with
They're
the with
jelly
the yeah,
of the
that could
big
be it.
brains. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you seen the 1986 Labyrinth Jim Henson movie with the owl in it?
Yeah, well, I can't remember an
There's like a
owl in
white
it.
owl that the Goblin King is when he comes on Earth. That it comes to Sarah's window at first, and like she sees the
Oh,
white
okay.
owl. Have you seen it? Yeah, yeah. That's what
I,
I think of when I think of an owl.
I think my love for owls started with Clash of the Titans, with the mechanical stop motion owl. That was the
Yeah.
one where like it just got my imagination. I'm like, oh, I'd love like this like robotic, like steampunky like owl to just be my buddy and hang
Did
out.
you guys get any tattoos of owls?
Um, Art, do you have any tattoos? Yeah, the new tattoo is no tattoo.
It's the
Um,
cool thing to do. All the young kids are like,
I agree.
tattoos are lame for old people,
That's
and I'm one of them. And so it's now hip to not have one.
Yeah, but I was actually talking to a mutual friend of ours about this uh yesterday. He's talking about owl tattoos, and I was like, "Well, I will challenge you to find space on my body to actually fit an owl tattoo, because
You
that
do
would be
have the
very
head,
difficult.
huh?
My
You
whole
already got,
body's done. Yeah, my whole body's done."
yeah.
So it would
Dang.
be it would be somewhere where I probably wouldn't enjoy it or be able to see it, unless it's like something tiny right here, but then what's the point, right?
Yeah, you could do an under the eye prison owl
The
tattoo.
little owl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm good. I think I've done. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, the teardrop. Okay, so you just sent me the song "You Don't Bow, You Will Learn." That definitely sounds like a threat. I like it. I got to hear it right before you guys logged in. So, is that coming out right now or soon, or when is that coming out?
So that will be out. We've been working on an album this summer, and that will be out when we release the album. So the album has we've captured it all. Um, so we've recorded everything. And what I can say right now is that, yeah, it's just in the mixing process, and then it'll be mastering, and then just everything aligning with marketing and all the other stuff, cover art, music video. So it's just right now, I think like the big push was to get it done and then isolate like what will be the singles and kind of pump those out, which are already available anywhere where you stream music or buy music. Uh, but the album, it could be this fall or it could be later. We don't know where it's necessarily going to land, and
They
we're not
always get
necessarily a
pushed back.
rush.
They really do.
Yeah, yeah, we're
You
not
know?
necessarily at this point, we're not necessarily in a rush. These singles are really driving us forward. People are getting it. And even these singles, they were all four of them are a preliminary mix because everything's getting remastered together. So that's why when I sent you, you're basically the first person out of our circle that
Woo!
got to hear that. Uh,
That's exciting. Go
yeah,
me. Yay,
yeah,
thank
and
you.
and we've been toying around with title names, and we pretty much made it official today that that will be the title track. So the album will be titled "You Don't Bow, You Will Learn."
That is true too, though. I didn't like, or you need to respect your elders too. It makes me think of all that, or those that came before you, or I don't know, just being humble. There's a lot of things that come to mind when I hear that sentence put together. What does it mean for you guys?
Um, there's for me, there's two contrasting things. It's actually similar to what you just said. I think one of the most precious things you could say to somebody is, "I wish you a thousand surrenders." Um,
Mm,
and it's kind of like that, for me. It's like, just like you said about, humbling yourself and getting to this point of understanding wrong and things like that. But originally, the song is about um, pirates, actually.
nice.
Yeah, so it's about pirates, and I kind of just, yeah, I wrote the entire song. This was like the latest song that we did, and we have a catalog of music that we just been plucking from. Um, and this was just literally, I wrote it in a morning. I just woke up and it just pumped right out of me with the first verse and everything. And I messaged Art. I'm like, dude, there's something special about this one. Can we fast track this for the album? And I'm like
Yeah.
telling him this like 3 weeks or something before we're in the mid-July. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like maybe a month before we're back in the studio to like, and we're, the way we approach things is, as you can hear, it's not, we don't fall into the standard quadrants of tempos, the standard quadrants of time signatures. So it's really you have to memorize it. And so it was a good feat, and it was a good practice to get it. And it took that one wasn't a first take type situation in the studio. It took a little bit of work, but all the songs that we did record for the album, we tracked them all live. We did them all the old-fashioned way, which I'm really, really proud of. To time capsule just our relationship, personally, where we are in our lives, and where we are musically, so that we can grow from there.
Sometimes when that magic hits, it hits you out of nowhere and you have to run and either write or record it or, get it out.
It just
Are
felt right,
you
and
a
then now
fan
and
of
now it's
pirates?
the name of the album. So I mean, like, it's
It's
pretty
important.
obviously it was for a reason. There was something. But yeah, no, you know. I don't know. My connection with pirates was is I guess two things. It's more like the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disney,
I love
and
that ride.
yeah, I love that ride. And but the song is actually mostly about it's mostly about, well, there's two things. It's one, it's somebody who joins, or goes to be a pirate, and he is just not necessarily the right fit for the work,
Mm. Maybe
and
he's too
he
nice.
is, yeah, he's nice, and he's talking very analytical to the captain, like kind of just almost like how you would talk if you just got a job at an office, and it's kind of like, what you saying, what, like, kind of thing, and that vibe. And then I kind of mashed it up because I usually like mix in some folklore, or I'm into the songs, into the lyrics, or I mix in some favorite movie that I like, and it has a lot of little nods to The Princess's Bride because I love the Dread Pirate Roberts.
I love The Princess Bride. That's a great classic. You know. And yeah, so he was too nice to be a good pirate.
Yeah.
I'm
So
curious.
the way it starts, the first line is, it says, engaged in pirates theory, addressing all concerns. Engaged in pirates theory, and then the captain turns to him and says, "You don't bow, you will learn. You don't bow, you will learn." So it's just like, hey, shut up. Like, either fall in line or you're out, you know?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so Art, how did you meet Cal?
Well, I moved to Los Angeles from Nashville in March of 2023. Had played music in Nashville for, really 20 years, various bands, tried to get into studio stuff. I moved here and didn't know anybody, and would, check on Craigslist. Maybe if I met a musician, I would ask them how they got into bands, or where do bands even practice or hang out. In Nashville, it's very like all the bands are hanging out places. And here, I just didn't know where those places were. But for Cal and I, it was Craigslist. I saw an ad of his maybe in the fall of 2024. So I'd kind of been out of the game for a while. And we talked on the phone for a bit. I learned three of the songs, and we just kind of got straight to it. We had a singer at the time, so the music was pretty different. And then when things kind of didn't work out and we didn't find a bass player, Cal kind of stepped up and uh, redid the songs a little bit to fit his own voice. And now we're a two piece. So yeah,
Nice.
Craigslist was the
Now
answer.
that's weird. Everyone's moving from LA to Nashville. You don't hear a lot of from Nashville to LA. Interesting.
Yeah. Um, my wife is an actor, and she got an agent out here, and it was just time to leave. So yeah, we heard it a lot. We were selling stuff off, trying to move as little as possible across the country, and probably more than half the people we talked to were from here and had moved to Nashville, and they all said you're going the wrong way. Um,
All of
but
my LA buddies moved to like Vegas and Salt Lake and Nashville. They've all left pretty much. There's only a couple left because it got so expensive and things closed down more during COVID. But if your wife's in entertainment and acting, it makes a lot of sense to be in LA. It's a mecca.
yeah, Nashville's not so cheap anymore. I mean, compared to here, it
Yeah.
definitely is. But having been there for a long time, I think even now, some of the artist refuge where it's just super cheap there is maybe true, but maybe not as true as it used to be.
And the weather's a hell of a lot better in Los Angeles. So
Uh, yeah, I'm a fan of the fall, and I really miss that doesn't exist here. But pretty much all the rest of the year, yeah,
see, I lived in Austin and I went to, around to Tennessee and Arkansas a lot and I can't do hail and tornado warnings and actual weather. It's just not my jam.
yeah.
I'm a Cali girl. Are you and Cal, have you always been in LA or did you move to LA later?
Yeah, no, I actually moved here a little bit over a year and a half ago from San Francisco.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
NorCal like me, but I'm Sacktown, but NorCal.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's where the Owling started, was up there, and then I relocated here. I was pretty much just by myself, and then you know doing auditions. I mean,
I can't even think of all the people that I auditioned before Art and I met, and it just synced up. You know, there's a song called "Speaking Stops," which was the last single that we put out a couple weeks ago, which has gotten quite a bit of traction. And the chorus for "Speaking Stops," I mean, I auditioned some of the most pro people over here. For some reason, they were getting so tripped up on playing it, like just so tripped up. And it was like Art literally just did it. Like there wasn't even a real conversation. He's like, he listened to it. He's like, he got it. He got the math figured out in his head and whatever it was. And he just played it. And I'm like, dude, it just blew my mind. That type of, that's the thing that really synced up with us, is that math brain chemistry kind of works, because for me it's a little bit more chaotic, but mixed with his structure, it ends up landing like Legos. It ends up
Yeah.
landing. Yeah. So it's
Band relationships can be like sexual relationships, and it's difficult to find what fits and who you click with. And it's really important that you vibe on an artistic level and even on a friendship and a future level of what you see for the band.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bonus. I'm not really somebody who generalizes in generations or cultural things. Everybody is a different body when it comes to me. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're really close in age, and I mean, we're like maybe a year and a half apart, something like that. Um,
Maybe less.
yeah, yearish apart, and
Nice.
I think that kind of is pretty cool. There's certain things that can geek out about it, and then we're both, we both have been professionals for a long time, in stuff that we've done in our careers and in our life, and we've been, and music's just all been a part of it. So it's just that kind of alignment that solidifies things, or
You guys are seasoned.
solidified. Yeah.
Yeah. You've done this. Can I ask you guys fun questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
Okay. What's someone you guys look up to in the industry?
Go ahead.
Uh,
Alive or dead?
How about alive? I usually say anything, but I want to know like someone alive that you're like, dang, they're doing really good. I dig their vibe.
I mean, I think to pick one, just going back to like one of the first drummers that I gravitated towards, it would be Stuart Copeland, and he's kind of done it all in like a really weird way. Like he was in the biggest band in the world for a long time, but he was kind of a subversive element in his own success there. And then he went on to do like film scoring. He's still like a total huge character now. Every interview you watch with him, he's a lot of things that I am not, but I just think it's really cool that he has carved out what he has as like a icon, and also just kind of I don't know, a funny, weird guy. I think
Yeah.
it's really fun that he's still kind of involved in playing music.
Very versatile.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's yours?
Um, I probably have a pretty long list, but the first person that I thought of was actually Ben Gibbard, from Postal Service and Def Cab for Cutie.
I
Just
love some emo rock too. I like those emo days.
Yeah, just because of his
Yeah.
writing sensibility, and he did this thing. I've followed him for for decades, but he did this thing in COVID where he played a live concert. Like he started playing like every day, just on a live thing on YouTube that not that many people knew about, and then it blew up. And he talked about stuff, and it was just like I felt like a kinship in regards to like my songwriting side of things. And yeah, so I'm just gonna throw out that, but honestly, like it always has been and always will be you know, anything Roger Waters and anything Mike Patton is pretty much been consistent for my entire life. I would say,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice. Okay. What is your day of the show prep routine?
Uh, I don't think I have one. I when I think day of show, I've kind of been like, I have a day job and then I play a show, and it's always I don't think there's time for routine usually. I think probably a lot of people who are going out and playing gigs, it's sound guys asking you to be there at 5:15. You get off work at 4 or 5, and so yeah, not really much of a routine. But I used to drink a gin and tonic before I played, like pretty much every time. Just one gin and tonic and then a beer on stage was like an old routine that I just don't do anymore.
Yeah. A little gin and tonic, like a Snoop Dogg gin and tonic before.
I always
Okay.
thought they kind of like had like a little bit of like I don't know. They kind of like had like almost a coffee effect for me. Like they gave me a little bit. Maybe it's the sugar in the tonic or something, but I always thought it was a little boost.
That's how I feel about Jack and Coke. So I'm not a soda drinker. I don't drink soda, but I do love a Jack and Coke. And I think because I don't normally drink soda, it just gives me that jolt and kind of wakes me up if I'm out and about. But it could be
Yeah.
dangerous. I don't like gin unless it's like lavender and lemon and some nice fancy cocktail out. I just gin to me is it's so strong. Oh no. What about you, Cal? Do you have like the day of something you want to do or warm up or something you always want to get done before you go on?
Yeah. Actually, a couple things. For sure, vocal warm ups. I got to do them before practice. I got to do them. I learn different warm ups, and I've lined like different songs that I sing that kind of like gradually get me to that warm up state. I got to at least do that for 20 minutes. That's important for me, especially because I've only been singing professionally this year. So
Wow.
it's very new for me. And yeah, I practice hours every day. I take it very serious, but it's fantastic to jump into something. I'm in my mid 40s, so jump into something at my age that's new, that I was always scared of doing. My father was one of the greatest singers of all time. He's since passed, and I always felt like, oh, I wasn't born with what he was born with, and I'm never going to be like that. So why try? Like, but I love singing. I just didn't know how to carry a tune. So
You
now,
needed confidence in yourself. You had to
yeah,
believe in
yeah,
yourself.
that goes a long way. That definitely goes a long way. But as
Yeah.
Art can attest, I would say the first two months of me taking over with lead vocals every practice afterwards, I would barely be able to talk. I would just blow out my voice. And we're not even doing like screaming, like I
Yeah.
just wasn't going from the right place. And through working with a coach and stuff, I've learned how to do it, and it's just a matter of practice and just repetition. But that's important. And then I actually, to the drink thing, I make like this espresso drink from espresso that I keep in my house, and I kind of put it in my gig bag. So right before we're taking the stage, I drink it, and usually some kind of like energy bar or something, because every now and then we'll play a show and my sugar will drop, and that's like not a good feeling, in the middle of
Yeah.
that or anything like that. But I think the thing I would probably be the most nitpicky about is I don't like singing with a dirty mouth. I
So
like
just brushing it, being
I like
clean,
brushing my teeth. Yeah,
mouthwash.
yeah, I like rinsing out my mouth and brushing my teeth. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
it just feels it. I feel like even though I'm not near anybody, I feel like me belting and pushing on my voice, and like, oh, I'm gonna have something on my breath, like, and I'm like self-conscious of it, even though
Very
I'm not around
courteous.
anybody, Yeah. So I need that fresh breath.
That makes sense. Maybe
Yeah,
that's why rock stars like chug drinks and then spit it on the audience before, so they at least have some alcohol in their mouth to smell good.
I've never even thought about that. That's very interesting. Yeah.
I one time at a show at Chain Reaction in Orange County, I was underage, so I snuck vodka in a water bottle and we drank half of it. And, we were intoxicated because we were young. And I said it on stage and I felt so bad. It was Panic at the Disco. The lead singer
Oh,
just grabbed the water bottle thinking it's water, being thirsty, and chugged it really fast. Didn't know it was vodka, and then spit it back onto me and my friend and everyone else in the front row, being shocked. But I was like, my bad. I never. He's all, "Whose is this?" And I did not admit
oh my
that
God.
was mine, and I shouldn't even have had that vodka. Um, okay, and then I wanted to do this or that with you guys. So I'll ask you,
Okay.
like, would you choose this or that?
Okay, sure.
Okay. Um, it's funny you said espresso. Morning coffee or late night ice cream?
Definitely morning coffee.
Yeah, coffee.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
me too.
Yeah.
Sending a spicy pic or receiving one?
Oh man.
I know. That's kind of hard. It's kind of hard.
I don't-
Receiving for me. I don't think I would ever do it. So
I love it. We've got a virgin over there. You're not
I,
sending
I,
spicy
I
pics.
think it just depends on the decade. I think in my 20s, never unsolicited,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
But I'm not a very shy person. Never was. I'll walk around all Winnie the Pooh anytime. Like,
yeah. Same.
just
I don't
I'm
like
just not
clothes.
that
Like, it's
I'm just
not my
not that.
jam.
Yeah, I don't really have a problem with it. I remember when I got my ass tattooed, I just was full frontal in the front of the tattoo shop. But while I'm doing that, I'm just like, I don't really care.
I got all of my junk blasted, but we shut down the tattoo shop. But he was like, "Do you want a towel?" I'm like, "No, it's fine. Just I knew I'm gonna get it all blasted, so might as well,
Yeah,
have it
I don't
out."
know. That's just my experience.
Yeah. Okay. Do you guys like better a physical album copy or a digital copy?
I would say, I would say for me, um, yeah, something physical when it comes to music is important.
Yeah. Being
Uh,
able to hold on to it.
but the convenience, it's a convenience thing, and what it actually lands in the real, uh, and it sucks of what that supports on that end. But yeah.
What about you, Art? Which one?
um, I'm not that picky. I mean, I want it to sound good, but I think digital for me, because I think I've learned about so much more music because of all of that. But there is something like, I have a record player at home, and I only buy, if I listen to something and listen to the whole thing and like every song, I'll go buy the vinyl. Or if there's a band I want to support, I'll buy it at the show or something. Uh, but I have like a pretty curated vinyl collection that's just stuff that I know that I'll put on, I'll flip it over, I'll listen to every song. And it's more of like an experience, or it's something that I put on purpose. But yeah, I really like digital music, and like the idea of being able to connect the dots between different artists that you like and finding new things is just, yeah, you can't do that with physical copies. So
I do love it when Spotify or YouTube suggests an artist because I've listened to one and I didn't know about them and I learn about something new. That is really neat. Um, okay, 70s or 80s rock?
Oof.
70s.
Yeah, I gotta go with 70s as well.
Okay.
Yeah, like there's, can't help but have tastes of the 80s. That's when I grew up. But yeah, as far as rock is concerned, oof, nothing but primo in the 70s. If you dig right.
Yeah. I love Bowie, so yeah, I gotta love the 70s.
Oh yeah.
Grunge rock or ska rock?
Or ska.
Yeah, grunge or ska?
Oof.
Grunge now, but when grunge was happening, I probably listened to a lot more punk and ska. So
Same. Yeah, we're like the same age, so
Yeah,
ska was cool when we were like in high school. It was really middle school, high school. It was kind of, I felt like it was
I
popular.
feel like everyone had a Nirvana, like a Kurt Cobain, memorial T-shirt. And when I was young, I was like, that's stupid. Like that makes
Yeah.
me not want to listen to that. And then I would, get into like punk and ska and like, it's kind of the same thing because like people would wear Misfits shirts or like, be into bands like, you know, that they've never really heard. Maybe Operation Ivy. I've heard one song and I bought the T-shirt in a record store, so it's all the same. But at the time, I felt like the punk was like a little bit, I don't know, contrarian, I guess. So I was more drawn to it.
It is funny when you see the hot model in LA and she's wearing the rocker shirt. And there was just another joke where the model was wearing a Metallica shirt and the guy walks by and goes, "Name 3 songs." And she didn't even know who the band was. She just thought the shirt was cute.
Classic.
It's bad. I know. What about you, Cal? So wait, would you do ska or grunge?
Uh, grunge has just standed the test of time for me.
Yeah.
Even though like Voodoo Glow Skulls will come in, anything off of Moonskull Records will pop on, and I'll geek out for sure. But in regards to an expiration date of a regular listen, ska kind of had its thing for me, But
Yeah.
specials come on, whatever. Like I can name, Mephistopheles. I can go ahead and down. I went really deep in the ska world. I even we had like my old band had a couple ska songs. I used to go to all the ska shows. It was fun. It was a great time. It was a great
Yeah, I
time.
was a ska groupie for a couple years. I was so into Suburban Legends and seeing all their performances at Disneyland and all around.
Oh wow. Cool.
Um, Being on stage or backstage?
I know what he's gonna say.
Yeah, I think. Well, I don't really care about being backstage either. I don't.
You're like, I just want to be home on my couch hiding, watching Netflix. No.
Maybe not that. I really like the studio. I enjoy practicing and getting the songs like really good. But I think I started playing with like a fair amount of stage anxiety, which I don't have now. But I think I just turned it into a kind of, I'll play a show, but it's unusual. Like every once in a while, I get excited during the show, but the lead up to the show, I don't always have the like, man, I can't wait to get up there. So I guess I have to say backstage, but I don't know. I probably don't put a lot of stock in either one.
Are you more Cal because you're singing now? Are you more on stage?
It's gone through phases. So I would
Okay.
say for the majority of my life, it was definitely on stage. I've been on a stage performing music since 93 or 94. So since I was a young teen.
That's a long time.
And it's always felt like home. I mean, even, Art asked me after once we had our first show, he's like, "How did it feel?" I'm like, "It felt like home." Really, it did. It actually took me a long time when I had to pause the music just to be a spectator. I'm like, no, I'm a performer. Like, and it took me a long time to like disconnect. And now I got a love for both, like I like being backstage. I like being on stage. And I'm a good attendee. I'm a good spectator as well. And I think that's just maturity over time. But right now, I guess, like just in this phase of my life, yeah, I'm back to the on stage for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to
Okay.
set up with drums so they would hide my face, so no one
Oh,
could see.
you really don't want to be on. You're hiding in the background.
Yeah.
That's a lot of drummers. That's why I dated drummers. They were kind of shy or quiet. Um, I have one more this or that. Puppy love or adult love?
Well, what kind of love?
Like high school love or grown
Oh,
up? Which one do you guys enjoy better?
oh,
I think I always just was thinking about it as grown up love, which was probably not great when I was younger, and no one else was thinking that. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
adult love for me. Or else like I'm just comfortable being alone. Like if it's not going to be that, then I'm like, all right, cool, I'll go do my own thing, and I'm
yeah,
fine with that.
You
yeah,
want it mature.
yeah. I'm definitely in that camp now, but I would say, you know, I'm definitely a romantic. I've been a romantic, like all my life in some type of way. I guess I just flow that energy and just in a more um, balanced way now.
I think there's a thing though. Let me know what you think, where you can be too romantic. I think I almost romanticize things too much, and I watched all
Yeah.
these '90s movies growing up that there's these beautiful love stories. So I go, "Oh, that's how love should be," and I don't have a reality frame of mind about it.
For me, that more just falls into idealism, which I think is
Mm,
different. I think a puppy act of love is it can be very beautiful in the sense of vulnerability, because in the end, even with adult love, it's just how I see it. It doesn't exist without vulnerability, so it kind of needs some of that anyways, uh,
yeah,
in order for it to do anything for me. Uh,
definitely.
yeah.
Well, thanks guys so much for stopping by. Let us know the Owling, what's coming up, what would we look out for, how to find you guys, all the good stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So it's pretty easy. There's never been a band called the Owling in existence, which is pretty awesome. So it's easy to stumble upon us. You can just go to theowling.com and find us there. But it matters. Following us on Spotify, adding us as a favorite on Apple Music. Like every day that number just ticks up, and sometimes it spikes up, and all that stuff really does matter.
Yeah.
Um, right now, there are, like I said, 4 singles out. We have Speaking Stops, In Days, Sour Blossom, and Thunderlight, which yeah, will give you a taste of what's on the album, but there's so much more shenanigans for sure coming. Our next show, our next big show is at Whiskey on October 12th, Sunday, October 12th, and we're opening for Black Sabbatha, which is a female-fronted Black Sabbath band. And this isn't just a random we're playing the same night. No, we're actually selected to play right before them. We're direct support to Black Sabbath, and with everything that's occurred, I know I'm still mending my heart over the loss of Ozzy Osbourne, and all that happened this summer. It's a great time to pay tribute. Um,
Yeah, that'll be a
it's,
good tribute night
so it's
to
going to
go
be,
out for them.
yeah, it's going to be a great show. We have, like I mentioned before, the album, it is going to happen. It is recorded. We're just not going to settle on how it sounds. It has to really be what it needs to be, and it's got to go shoulder to shoulder with what you expect, any album to sound like. So whether that takes weeks or whether that takes months, so be it. In the meantime, you got those 4 songs to enjoy. We do generally play once a month. We'll pop in, play 3 clubs, play Harvard and Stone. We're talking about a show at Dragonfly. We're talking about a little holiday thing that we're gonna try to do. So we're active. You can definitely check us out. Instagram is a good way to connect. Following on Instagram is always good, and just kind of keeping up with stuff. We pump out little clips and just tell you what's up about us, and point you in any direction, anything Owling related. But yeah, I appreciate anybody who wants to join this ride.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming by this ride, Steph's Rock Show. And I look forward to when I'm in LA sometime. Hopefully, I can check you guys out.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Thanks for having us, Steph.
Yeah.